That worked. There's no one on the road right now. It's super fucking late. I feel like there's no one on the road, and I can see fine. Alright, so I just got out of... Let me just get this over just a wee bit. Alright, so I just got out of seeing Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And by just got out, I mean that was like... How long? Like an hour and 10 minutes ago. Maybe an hour 15. I went with my buddies Noah and Ryder. And just in case you need approval that's other than mine, both of them also really liked this movie. I don't know if I'd say loved. I don't feel like anyone ever says the words loved except me. But I loved this fucking movie. Like, holy shit, did I love this movie. I was looking forward to it. It was the director, is her name Kelly Freeman Craig? I think that's her name. She directed Edge of 17, and I'm a big fan of Edge of 17. I watched it the year it came out in theaters. It kind of impressed me. I've seen it through over the years, and it's still like a really, really good coming-of-age film. It's definitely one I enjoy, and I've talked about a bit with like friends. I've always recommended it. It's been like a solid, great film for me, and I've gone back to it a few times. It's pretty fun. I have seen now Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and I read the book before by Judy Blume. I don't remember how old I was. I might have been like 14 or 15. I just randomly decided to read it because I knew it was banned and had like some controversies at the time. But then I know other people who like praised it and like stand behind it as a book, and it's a very important book to stand behind for sure. And by memory, I remember thinking the book was pretty good. I thought it had like a few maybe issues, but it was damn good. But I had heard so many things about this goddamn movie. The trailer has barely been marketed in theaters. I think I've only gotten this trailer in theaters one time, and I don't remember what movie I got the trailer for at, but it looked pretty funny. It looked like it'd be a solid coming-of-age dramedy. I didn't think it'd be great, but I thought that could be a decent time out of the theater. And then I remember once reviews started dropping, it was like fucking heavy reviews. Like they were all, it was at like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but it's probably like a 6.57 average, and the average was like an 8.8, and then it had like an 80 on Metacritic, and I think to this point it's at a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes with like 100 plus reviews. It has like an 8.5 average, it has an 84 Metacritic. The IMDb score is huge for it, and I've heard Judy Blume say it's better than her book, and I'm like, this is fucking lots of praise, and I was like, I gotta at least check this out now. And now that I've seen it, like, holy shit, are none of these people making it up? Not that I thought they were, but like, this movie is a fucking masterpiece of coming-of-age movies. Coming-of-age can be my favorite genre, and it can also be like a genre that I find really basic. I'm not the biggest fan of, say, like, A Perks of Being a Wallflower. I think is okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of... I used to think these as a kid were fine, but like Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns are pretty basic. I've really enjoyed the ones that go a little bit further into pushing it. There's some really great ones, like mainstream ones I mentioned. I love Edge of 17, obviously, from this director. I really enjoy Love, Simon. That's a great film in recent years. But my favorites are the ones that like notably like know their message. Hands down, at front, it is the center of the film, but it never feels tacked on or forced, the message. It always just feels so naturally played. Edge of 17 is one of those, but I think it's done even better here than it is in Edge of 17. Some other films, I would say, like Stand By Me. If you've ever seen The Way, Way Back, The Way, Way Back is a really fucking good one. And for sure, this one. This is up there in, like, top 5 coming-of-age films of all time now for me. Like, it might be my favorite. I don't even know. Like, the amount of just, like... I was smiling the entire time. I was so giddy. It was like, it's very cute. It's very well done. It made me cry, which I was not expecting. The main girl, I think her name is Abby Ryder Fornston. I don't know her name for sure. It's definitely Abby Ryder, I'm pretty sure is the first name. She plays Cassie in the first 2 Ant-Man films. And I've always been like, oh, she's adorable in those films. She was like such an adorable character. And I never thought I would see her like beyond that. I feel like with child actors, you kind of forget or who you notice them. But I kind of recognized her from that. And seeing her in this, like, man, is she a fucking star. Like, she could take on a much bigger role one day, and I wouldn't be like shocked if she got pushed for like an Oscar. I don't know if this will be a movie to do it, but like in my opinion, she is like that level of good. She does the adorable cringe tension elementary school. I don't know why I said high school. Elementary school, like, character well, like someone who wants to have their first kiss, someone who's like body is going through changes. She does that like adorably well, but she also knows how to feel like an emotionally relevant character, because if you don't know anything about the book, and just from the title you can tell, it is kind of a character dealing with like an unforced religion. Her father is Jewish, her mother is Christian, and her parents were like aggressively Christian, so you know, she doesn't really know where she stands on religion, and that's the big discussion of the movie, is like, what's her affiliation in terms of religion? Like, where does she relate to? What does she connect to? And I won't spoil how it's done in case you haven't read the book, but it's a really charming story and really fucking beautiful. There's a scene where she kind of like fights back against it and truly like appeals her message about religion. She's not really 100% what she wants to be. She doesn't really 100% know, but that like in form of questioning and the way it's done is just so beautiful. Like, you shouldn't have to fight over religion. The fact that that was been a trait, especially back then. This was 1970 when the film takes place, around the time this same time-ish the book takes place. And it really like portrays that message so fucking good. Like, it's beautiful. Like, it had me genuinely in tears at points, and I was like, oh, it's so good. But it's also such a funny movie and such a likable movie. It doesn't develop the characters like super heavily on each trait. Like, you know enough about the dad, you know enough about the mom, her grandparents, her grandma, played by Kathy Bates, you know enough about her and her friends to where it's exactly the level of where you want the film to go. Just like Edge of 17, it ends at a point where it needs to end. It ends at a point where you're like, that was satisfying, that made me happy, that was just such a good overall feeling movie for what the message is. Edge of 17 is a little bit more dark. It also has themes of suicide messages and depression. This movie doesn't really click to that level, but it is about jealousy and religious affiliation, and it is partly another reason that this book was controversial, about a girl getting her first period, and how like you would look at that as like an awesome thing and adulting, but some other people were afraid of it. It was an emotional experience for them. It's scary, and it fully culminates all those thoughts and emotions in one great hour 40 minutes. It's so goddamn good. Like, you do not understand how good it is. It's so funny. We must increase our busts. Having me fucking laughing my ass off. There are other bits that are really funny. I love like these other like side characters. There's this like nerdy kid Norman in class. They develop the character of Laura, who is this like girl who's had her growth spurt like way quicker than everyone else, and they manage to like make you like go like, oh yeah, she is that kind of character, and everyone's making fun of her, but you clearly tell where the movie is going to go with it. Is this like emotional trait? The character of Nancy Wheeler is nailed very perfectly here. I love all the bits with the mom and the PTA. Like, it really is just like this great coming-of-age life film for all of them. The coming of age isn't just on this main little girl, it's on all her friends and those side characters. It's on her parents and her dad. Like her dad and her grandparents. Like, all of them kind of learn a message by the end, and it's fucking very beautifully done. It's also a really nice looking film. Like, films like this, typically, they can be just like okay shot. This movie's not like gonna win best cinematography or everything, but like there are some really nice shots and some really appealing things, and there are arcs that I love to see like fully come to fruition, even if they're just minimally hinted at. Obviously the mom was like an artist and she liked to paint, but she's kind of had to give up that passion in this time, and she works for the PTA, and she's so busy with her daughter, and the husband's the one with like the big job. That's why they moved to New Jersey and all this stuff. But the one thing that's like really cool and all that culminates well, I think, is whenever you see that at the ending of the movie. I guess this is a spoiler alert, so I'm tired, guys. It's 1:40 a.m. in the morning. A little spoiler here, but like the mom finally like embraces her job in painting. Like, she actually becomes like almost an art teacher, and it's teaching a class on it, and it's like so beautiful. I'm just like, that little moment was just like that, all that was needed. And everything about this movie is goddamn perfect. The characters are great, the comedy in it is excellent, the pacing is really good. It's so funny, and the main girl is so good. Like, she's charming, she's funny, but she can also build on emotional scenes really damn well. Like, it's a straightforward film, so technically it's not anything that's like insanely great that you haven't seen before, but it does it so well. That is potentially my favorite movie this year. Up there with Guardians and a film that I can't talk about. There's another film that I can't talk about yet, but right now it's up there with those, and I fucking love this film. I put it at my number one at the moment. Like, it's a perfect film. I have nothing bad to say about it. It just really blew my mind, and I cannot wait to hopefully see it again. It sucks that it's not making a shitload of money and not a lot of people are seeing it. It might have been because it was minimally marketed, but if you know it's out and you've seen the reviews, trust in those reviews, trust in me, and trust in the people. This is a really, really great crowd pleaser for mothers and daughters. If you're just a mother going on your own, you don't have a daughter you want to take. For teenagers, I think this is just a great film. It's going to be funny. You're going to get a lot of good laughs. You're going to have a really good time, and you might feel very emotionally invested. My friend was telling me a story about how he kind of relates to the message of religion in this film, and I really think that that's something to be said here, and it's done so well here, and quite better than I expected. So if you have the chance to see Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, while it's in theater still, or even if you have to watch it at home, it's worth your time and money for sure. I would give it a 10 out of 10. I rarely give movies a 10, but I fucking mean it here. It's so goddamn good. Like, I can't wait to see this again. Me and my mom were going to see Book Club 2 on Sunday for Mother's Day, and I asked her, like, hey, would you be willing to see this? I don't know, because, like, Book Club 2 was, like, kind of on her radar. She said she would see it in theaters or not, but I'm treating her to a movie, and she said the same thing kind of about this one, and I'm really hoping we go for this one. Like, I'd be fine seeing Book Club 2. I'm sure it's fine. I thought the first one was just perfectly adequate, but I don't think it's going to be this. And, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Please, Kelly, Freeman, Craig, keep doing these movies. I can't wait to see if you do more coming-of-age movies. I'll fucking be there day one. You are crushing it between this and Edge of 17. Sucks that it took, like, 7 years. How long has it been since that film? That was 2016. So it's been, 7 years to get this one out for your next film. But hopefully your next one's sooner and just as good. Or at least just great. Because, like, honestly, this is a standout film. It probably won't get any Oscar noms or Oscar buzz. Honestly, we haven't seen it at the time, but like, again, I'm not even kidding when I say, like, the main actress in this film, if they took more child actors in, she is, like, pretty Oscar-worthy. She's really good. Like, it reminded me of, like, I would say it's close to Jacob Tremblay in, like, Room. Like, that level of good. Like, she can really fucking do this. Like, and it was great. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just babbling on at this point. Hopefully the next movie I'll be reviewing will be Fool's Paradise and Fast and Furious 10. I'm seeing it a week early. So stay tuned for that. I'm assuming the review embargo will drop for Fast X by the time I see it. It would be weird if they gave fans a screening and not to review it. If not, I'll stand by the embargo date. But otherwise, I'm seeing it early, so that's cool. And yeah, that's it. Bye.